Welcome back to Currency Now, your go-to source for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on global financial trends and economic policies. Here we bring you the latest trends shaping the global landscape, from market shifts to geopolitical events that impact economies worldwide. Today we're diving into one of the most controversial and impactful issues of 2025: mass deportations. This topic has been making headlines across the globe, stirring debates and discussions in political, social, and economic spheres. Nations around the world are tightening their immigration policies, leading to significant changes in how borders are managed and who is allowed to stay within them. This has resulted in the largest wave of deportations we've seen in years, affecting millions of lives and altering the demographic landscapes of many countries. But why is this happening? What are the driving forces behind these stringent immigration policies? Is it economic pressure, political agendas, or social unrest? And what does it mean for the global economy, families, and international relations? How will these mass deportations impact labor markets, international trade, and diplomatic ties between nations? Stick around as we break it all down. We'll be talking to experts, analyzing data, and bringing you stories from those directly affected. Stay tuned for a comprehensive look at this pressing issue and its far-reaching consequences. First, let's talk about the why. The reasons behind the mass deportations in 2025 are multifaceted and complex. It's not just one single factor, but a combination of economic, political, and social elements that have come together to create this situation. Several factors are converging to create this perfect storm of deportations. Economic slowdowns in key regions have led to increased unemployment and social unrest. Governments are under pressure to prioritize their citizens in the job market, leading to stricter immigration policies. Economic slowdowns in key regions have governments prioritizing their citizens in the job market. This has resulted in a significant reduction in the number of work visas being issued and an increase in deportations of undocumented workers. The economic strain is palpable, with job fairs seeing unprecedented attendance and urban centers bustling with job seekers. Rising nationalism and anti-immigration rhetoric are also fueling stricter policies. Political leaders are capitalizing on these sentiments to gain support, often at the expense of immigrant communities. Nationalist movements are gaining traction, and their influence is evident in the increasingly harsh immigration laws being enacted. In Europe, for instance, countries like Italy and France are cracking down on undocumented migrants after years of debate over integration challenges. The political climate has shifted towards a more conservative stance, with governments implementing stringent measures to control immigration. This includes increased border patrols, more frequent document checks, and expedited deportation processes. Meanwhile, the United States is enforcing one of the most aggressive deportation policies in decades. The current administration has made immigration control a top priority, resulting in a surge of deportations. Families are being separated at airports, and border patrol agents are more vigilant than ever. The impact on immigrant communities is profound, with many living in constant fear of deportation. The global landscape of immigration is changing rapidly. Countries around the world are grappling with the challenges of integrating immigrants while addressing the concerns of their native populations. The mass deportations of 2025 are a stark reminder of the complexities and human costs associated with immigration policies. As we move forward, it's crucial to find a balance that respects the rights of immigrants while addressing the legitimate concerns of host countries. It's not just about economics. Security concerns, the rise of populist leaders, and even post-pandemic immigration backlogs are playing a role. Some nations argue they simply can't sustain current levels of immigration, but is it really that simple? Let's look at some of the countries at the forefront of this trend. First up, the United States. In 2025, the United States has already deported over 1.2 million individuals, a record number. Most of these deportations involve migrants from Central and South America, but there's also been a rise in removals of individuals from Asia and Africa. Then there's the United Kingdom, where the government's controversial policies have sparked global outrage. The UK is focusing on deporting asylum seekers, many of whom have been in the country for years. France and Germany are also implementing new laws to accelerate deportations, primarily targeting migrants from North Africa and the Middle East. Mass deportations come with heavy costs, not just for the individuals being removed, but for the economies and societies involved. Families are torn apart, often with little notice. Children born in host countries are being sent to places they've never known, and the economies that rely on migrant labor, they're feeling the sting. Take the agricultural sector in the US or the construction industry in Saudi Arabia. These sectors depend heavily on migrant workers. Deportations create labor shortages, drive up costs, and disrupt entire supply chains. At the same time, countries losing their workers face reduced remittances, which are often a lifeline for struggling economies. So, how is the world reacting? Human rights organizations are calling for more humane policies, arguing that mass deportations violate basic rights. The United Nations has urged countries to reconsider their approaches, emphasizing the need for international cooperation, but these calls are often drowned out by domestic political pressures. Meanwhile, some nations are taking a stand. Canada, for instance, is positioning itself as a leader in resettlement programs, offering pathways for refugees and deported individuals to start over. Could this approach inspire others? The big question is, where do we go from here? Experts warn that mass deportations could exacerbate global inequality and fuel more migration crises down the line. As climate change displaces millions in the coming years, the challenges we're seeing now might only be the tip of the iceberg. Mass deportations are reshaping our world in ways that are impossible to ignore. The movement of people across borders has always been a complex issue, but recent events have brought it to the forefront of global consciousness. From bustling city streets to the quiet corners of rural areas, the impact is felt everywhere. They highlight the tension between national interests and global responsibilities, between security and humanity. The images of families being separated at borders, the long lines at immigration checkpoints, and the fortified fences are stark reminders of the challenges we face. These scenes are not just isolated incidents, they are part of a larger narrative that questions our values and priorities. But as the debate rages on, one thing is clear: the decisions we make now will define the future of migration, human rights, and economic stability for decades to come. In the halls of power, from parliaments to international organizations like the UN, the discussions are intense and often contentious. Lawmakers, diplomats, and activists are all grappling with the same fundamental questions. How do we balance the need for security with the imperative of compassion? What kind of world do we want to build for future generations? And economic stability for decades to come. The economic implications of mass deportations are profound. Economists and financial analysts are closely monitoring the situation, as the movement of people can significantly impact labor markets, consumer spending, and overall economic growth. The ripple effects are felt in industries ranging from agriculture to technology, and the stakes are incredibly high. Thank you for watching Currency Now. We strive to bring you the most pressing issues of our time, providing in-depth analysis and diverse perspectives. Our goal is to inform, educate, and empower you to make sense of a rapidly changing world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps us continue to deliver high-quality content. We value your opinions and look forward to hearing what you have to say. What do you think about these mass deportations? Are they a necessary measure to protect national security, or do they represent a failure of our humanitarian obligations? The conversation is far from over, and your voice matters. Are they necessary, or is there a better way forward? Let us know. Community engagement and public discourse are crucial in shaping policies that affect us all. Whether through protests, town hall meetings, or online forums, your participation can make a difference. And as always, stay informed and stay empowered. In a world where information is constantly evolving, staying informed is your best tool for empowerment. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to continuing this journey with you.